Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into Pirate Rumble PvP, talking all things meta related, talking all things team building, and how you guys can build the best PvP team. So, first of all, huge shout out to Naito. I've been meaning to get around to this particular Rumble Sheet resource for a very, very long time, so I'll leave a link to the description for you guys so you can check it out yourself. The man puts in a lot of work. Make sure to go buy him a coffee. I'll definitely be buying you a coffee, my friend. Some of the stuff you do here is amazing, but in today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that he's put together and suggestions and ways that I think you could probably make these teams a little bit better, or what is a little bit off in my opinion. But at the same time, I'm not doing it to criticize his work. I'm just putting in my 2 cents as a very heavy endgame Rumble player. So again, shout out to Naito for the resource. He puts it, like I said, he puts in so much work. So huge shout out to you. Lots of people for the 11th anniversary have been asking me when I plan on doing a Rumble tier list and Rumble teams for these new characters, like a top 5 team guide. And I'll definitely do that towards the back end of the celebration once we have all the characters. But for now, we are going to use Naito's information. And look, I apologize if I'm butchering your name there too. So he puts in a lot of work. As you can see, we have the latest characters. We have the index down here too. Something you guys can't really see here. I'll just kind of scroll it up like this. If you kind of go down the bottom is the meta team comps, EXP distribution, character tier list, GP tier lists, leader tier list. So we're going to go through a lot of these, and if you kind of go down the bottom here, you have like should you pull for characters and stuff like that as well. So lots of really, really good stuff here. And first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the meta team comps. So let's head over to the meta team comps and let's see what's cooking. Let's make this actually viewable. So as you can see, he updated this on the 17th of the 5th for the 15.01 update. For his Pirate Rumble meta team comps, he has the OP tier list. Then he goes down SS, then he goes down to S and stuff like that. So starting off the bat, he has the strength team right off rip as an OP team. Just spot on. Everything here is absolutely perfect. Level limit break 5 of the waifu and Kuma is just demonic. Obviously with Uta at level limit break 5 as well, her super special goes so hard. You don't need Sanji on this comp as well, which is awesome because of the level limit break of Nami and Robin and Boa, which is awesome. So they're just like getting cooldown like crazy. You're getting damage output with your Kuma and your Luffy unit. Then you have a very strong bench with Sentomaru, Akainu, and Raizo and Shinobu. Raizo and Shinobu are probably like a bit of a flex unit here. You could probably replace them. I like to use them myself because Akainu is a shooter character. What I also like to do sometimes is move the Sentomaru unit over to the main lineup. So Sentomaru would stereotypically take the Kuma spot for me because damage output, it's really not a problem with this particular team. But if you do need more damage output, Kuma in the front lines works well. You've got the formation against the Demon King. That's funny. He's actually named these teams too. So like, go buy this minute coffee. The Egghead Incident. Now this one here, shooters, definitely an OP team. For myself, I would make this a lot different. And a big upside to what what's his name? I've already forgot it. Is it Naito? I haven't forgotten it because I forgot it. I forgot it because I can't say it. Naito has done is you can click on here and you'll go to what's it called? You go to team comps and subs. So you can click on this for the strength team, for example. You'll head over here and he's just given like a full on breakdown of different characters you guys can bring. The only other character that I would recommend probably bringing in here is Sandersonia. Sandersonia, actually, is the character I use over Rise of Shinobu now, I'm thinking about it. Sandersonia just slides in here so well because you have a Boa unit on the team. And you just get a little bit more damage output on your bench, so which works well and just more cooldown reduction. Luffy's great, obviously, but this Luffy's just better. Jack is fantastic, but if you have Uta, you just don't need Jack. Same with Blackbeard. If you have Uta, you just don't need them. You just have defensive prowess. The level limit break of the waifus is just way more valuable than any of these characters down here. Buggy's cooldown reduction is awesome. You have so much cooldown reduction here. And then King, he just misses too often. I don't rate King at all. I wouldn't even put King as an optional replacement. I'd put King like down here somewhere, to be honest, as an optional replacement. This Kaido is actually really, really good if you have space from the legend. This Sandersonia definitely could go up where the Luffy is, where the Sanji is, but the Sanji has to come if you guys aren't using the level limit break of the waifus. As you can see, he does stuff with strength fighters. Strength fighters, look, they're not it. They're good, but like at this point, just run like a regular strength team. And like S Snake is just better over on the shooter team. Not that this team doesn't work. It's just like if you're running strength, like why would you not just run the main comp? Because a lot of it's very similar. And Pikqchu's like one of the newer PP units, so he's a lot harder to attain. Strength slashes, they're not it. Nowhere near. He gives them ranks on the side here too, so like everything's pretty spot on. S tier though for the slashes that's a bit rich, to be honest. I don't really think that's the case, but so yeah, that's the strength team. Shooter team, I would make massive changes to be honest. Not saying that this lineup is bad, but they're just characters that work better. If you need damage output, like Esper for me is always in the front. The only reason Esper should not be in the front is if Esper is not on the team and you're using the sword unit instead. That's literally the only reason that Esper shouldn't be in the front. So Esper comes straight into the front lineups. Caulifla. This Caulifla here is amazing. I don't understand why she's so far down. She's definitely a character that I would have up here in the main comp alongside the S-Snake unit. And then Frankie's one that I would probably push off the team completely, to be honest. Not that he's bad, he's just, like, there's just other characters that work better. Again, Esper should definitely be in the front, so I would replace Suru. Suru is like, what, her cooldown is like her only draw, and like at that point you don't need that much cooldown. And then having Esper in the front is so good. You can run Kuzan in the front too. Kuzan's damage output is fantastic. Kizaru on the bench works great. Ryza Shinobu, another really good option for the front lines if you guys need another like diffuser. And then Zorakaku can be okay with their level in rank 5. I've tried them with level in rank 5, and honestly, they're just not super. They're not super appealing. Esper, when you are versing low cooldown units, works exceptionally well, like Blackbeard and Nami Karina. So that is definitely something to note as well. I don't know if he's got other comps. I don't think he does, no. Or other options for... Does he have other options and subs for the shooter team? Yeah, so like there's the team variations there. So like I said, I definitely agree with the fact that shooters are OP, but I would change the team just a little bit to make it a little bit stronger. Because like the core strength team, shooter team is just fantastic. And then we have the OP Int Worst Generation. Very good squad. Definitely dropped off. I probably wouldn't put them in an OP anymore, to be honest. They're right on the cusp, but yeah, I feel like they'd probably drop down to double S. I definitely run the same lineup. I don't use your Rogue though. Your Rogue's a bit of an odd one for me. I use just a straight powerhouse-based bench. You definitely can use the Brogy and Dora unit. They will work exceptionally well. But I just tend to run Pizarro, Sanjuan Wolf, and Pal. Because once you kind of come in at the back end with Powerhouse, they're just like, they're so hard to kill that having them rule the back end is just, it's so damn strong. But if you are talking traditionally int teams, like this is absolutely fine. Again, I would probably just replace your Rogue with another Powerhouse unit. It doesn't even have to be int, but just like Powerhouse. Next, we got my boy Slashes. I would definitely change this to Roger Rally Gaban. Even at level 1, like 99, sorry, like Roger Rally Gaban is just better than Roger Newgate. Like, fight me. I will fight you till the sun comes home. Level Limbrick Odin definitely has fallen off too. Can work nicely with his cooldown reduction, but definitely not a character that I would heavily lean towards in the front lines. I would probably look at utilizing the new Alba. The new Alba's defensive mechanism is amazing. I'd probably go for more damage with something like Mihawk. You definitely have options, which is great. Kizaru can be pretty good too with his cooldown reduction, but Odin is a pretty good option there. Shanks is fantastic. Definitely a really good option. And then Zora Sanji definitely rounds out the rest of the Slash team. You've got the Emperors of the Old Era, which is the Dex team. Dex team, honestly, has fallen off for me. I go for more of a shooter Dex variant now with the new Kizaru, running characters like the new Kizaru, Ace, going stuff like S-Shark and Lulu. At that particular point, we are talking probably more shooter than we are Dex, so I understand the concept here. But the team still functions quite nicely. This Uta obviously was very good for Assault Rumble, but other than that, I don't really see her like too much play with her. The Happy Tree Friends, which is this is the Free Spirit team. Free Spirit's very, very good, especially if you have the level in break of the waifus and then Roger Relic Barn. But they have struggled a little bit with damage output. But obviously Roger Relic Barn helps a lot, and they can disrupt a lot of teams, especially if you have Odin, Kinemon, Dentro level in break 5. They can definitely disrupt like teams like crazy. The next one's a bit of a weird one. The Emperors with their right hands being the Driven team, or the Powerhouse team. This team should definitely be an OP team, in my opinion. I run it a little bit differently. I actually run Pika over Sanjuan Wolf and push Pika to the bench. And then I use Luffy in the front over Pizarro. I don't use Pizarro at all on this particular team. My team is more like a Driven fighter build. But even still, this particular lineup, the only thing it struggles in is damage output. So if we kind of go over to what he says about this particular team, It's good against Cerebrals, which is weird. Weak against Driven, which is, again, very strange. He said Powerhouse and Driven teams work the same, so you can mix them freely. Let Kuma and Red Luffy finish them off. Big Mom category to charge their special fighter. And Black Bean needs at least 5 power. So he doesn't really talk too much about the downside to the character, to the team, in terms of the cons. The problem is with the team is that it lacks damage output. Like, that's just straight up the big problem with the unit. The units, unless... Wait, is this... Oh, weird. Oh, it's kind of taking us to Powerhouse, which is very strange. Yeah, the downside is the damage output, so that's why I like to run, again, Pika in the front, and then use Luffy in the front, and then that way you can get the super special of Kaido King a lot easier too. PX Shooter, the strength shooter team, like, I don't rate this team at all, like, strength shooters or whatever. Sai, I would say Sai are probably an OP team as well now, with all these new characters. This particular lineup here is the one that I love to run. It works great. I did try this team first, but just found Garp was a lot more effective. Doesn't mean that Roger and Newgate doesn't work, because you have a lot of slasher characters here. But Garp, especially getting to level 150, man, he hits like Freight Train. Like, he just goes so damn hard. It's ridiculous. So, I'm a bigger fan of this team, and I would definitely probably put them in an OP tier rather than the SS. But that's just me. Again, I'm not saying that this is wrong. He's still giving credit where credit is due, and it's still a very, very good team. As for the Wano Country's Liberation, the Quick team, this one is weird, because Quicker in like a weird boat. So Zoro, for my eyes, has definitely fallen off. I would definitely have the new Zoro in this lineup. I've actually been testing stuff with the Driven Slasher Quick team once again, and it's very, very good. So having the new Zoro in the team, bringing Cross-Guild into the team over Momo and Cesaro, and then utilizing Weevil on the bench. No, Weevil's not even on the team. He can't make the cut because he's not Driven. Using stuff like Blue Jam, Shiryu, and Fuji. So that way you have the 5 Driven characters, the 5 Slasher characters. It works all very, very nicely. Like, very, very nicely. Next, we've got Former Rivals, which seems to be the Cerebral-based team. Cerebrals do work quite nicely. I'd probably drop them to S. I found that the Cerebrals just struggle a little bit against some of the bigger teams. It just, unfortunately, is what it is. I wouldn't say they're definitely up on the same level as something like the Psy team. But again, I would say the Psy team is probably better than a lot of those teams that you guys see right here. But overall, very, very nice. And then you got, like, Punk Records. Once you kind of get down here, like, these teams are all just... They're more fun teams that you guys can run. Fun teams that you guys can try out. You can maybe try them at stuff like, what's it called? Defensive-based teams. You have, like, the Anti-Slashers, which is the Psy Striker team with Jin and Sanji. Like, that's a fun little bait team you guys could throw in the mix. Bad Blue guys. You have Fighters. And it just kind of keeps going down, which is really, really cool. So, we head over to the comp and subs now. Let's scroll back up to the top here. He basically gives a rundown of, like, every single team build that you guys can do, and like the best way to sort of fill out said team, which is pretty cool. He gives them like a little breakdown as well, sort of showcasing what they can do and what they look like if you guys want to run different class combinations. So here's the main combo up here. Again, very easy to do. Again, Rise of Shinobu for Sandersonia is pretty much the only change that I would make there. As for Strength Fighters is very, very good, especially with the new Pika. But again, like, it's not one that you would kind of want to rock when you have something like this, like, running around. So, it's fun, though. It's a fun little quirky team. Strength Slashes is pretty good. I don't think there's too much else to talk about there. Strength 3 Spirit, and then we have Strength Driven. He just does a fantastic job of just giving you guys, like, different options for these particular teams, which is really, really cool. So, if you guys were a newer player, like, building out a team, I think the Psy team is probably the easiest one to put together, especially because you get a lot of these Psy characters. If you head over to the comps and subs, you get a lot of these, like, you get, Rebecca Toy Soldier, you get Kuzan 6+, you get, who else do you get from that team? Law, I believe. You probably get, like, one or Law. So you get some pretty strong characters for the Psy team. And another one is the Dex team. The Dex team is pretty easy to put together, especially because you could pull some of these characters very, very easily on the Super Sugo banner, and then you could just pick up Pell from that the character selection screen too. So that's definitely something to note. The shooter team's pretty hard to build. The strength team's pretty hard to build. The in team's not too bad. Like, you have a lot of Super Sugos, and then obviously the Anniversary 6+ character is probably the hardest. But it's a reason why they are in the OP teams. A lot of the OP teams are going to have, like, much more illustrious units that are a lot harder to summon or a lot harder to get your hands on. This one right here, like I said, definitely should be an OP team. And again, I'll have my sort of builds for that once we get towards the back end of the anniversary. So gives a breakdown of how many flags you guys need for everything, which is awesome of him. Very, very cool stuff. And then he has his character tier list here too, which I definitely want to take a look at. So let's just quickly make this a bit bigger. And then we'll kind of break this down a little bit. So he's got his OP tier. Luffy, yes. Kuma, yes. S-Hawk, yes. Luffy, yes. Luffy, yes. Blackbeard, yes. Waifus, yep. Everyone here is definitely... Oh, Roger Newgate definitely can drop out. They're not OP. They're definitely not an OP character. They're too wonky. Way too wonky nowadays. Way back when, they definitely were. Lulu definitely should be an OP. I'd put Lulu up there in OP. S-Bear, I'd put up in OP. I'd argue S-Bear is more valuable than S-Hawk. Usopp Lilith, definitely an OP. I'd probably put Big Mom and Katakuri up in OP as well. And you could definitely make an argument for me for the Halloween Uta to be an OP. Or even the level limit break of the waifus up there. But Dex Ace is great as well. But characters that definitely put up there is the Lulu, S-Bear, Usopp Lilith, and the Big Mom Katakuri. I definitely would drop Whitebeard and Newgate down into SS. Dropping characters from SS into the S category. Probably Odin, Roger and Odin. Roger and Odin aren't like make or break. They probably would be an S character. They're still very, very good for the quick team, especially quick slashes. And then other than that, everyone else seems pretty fine. The S tier, I would probably bring Kobe and S Snake up into SS. Other than that, I'd definitely bring up Sanjuan Wolf. I'd definitely bring up Pikqchu. I'd definitely bring up the level limit break of Akainu. I'd bring up Pell. I'd bring up Smoothie. They definitely deserve to be up here in SS. Other than that, everyone else seems pretty spot on down here in the S tier. To drop, though, from the S tier into the A tier, I would probably take out something like... Suru would drop into the A tier for me. I'd probably say that... Nah, Tama can definitely stay there. Other than that, everything else seems pretty spot on. I'd bring up this Doflamingo. This Doflamingo has to be brought up, like, 100%. He definitely needs to be a lot higher. Sobermask definitely needs to be a lot higher as well. I would bring him up into the S tier. I'd also bring up the Zoro and Kaku. The Sanji and the Jin definitely need to come up as well. Other than that, everything else seems pretty spot on. This Usopp needs to come up into S tier as well. His level limit break is phenomenal. Other than that, everything else seems pretty spot on. And like I said, once again, shout out to Nagato as well. So it's Naidato. Sorry, apologies, Naidato. Like I said, I was gonna butcher that, and I know I would. So as to the GP tier list, leader tier list, you just have the Gear 5s really, the Gear 5s. I wouldn't have this Sai Gear 5 up here. I would drop him down, and I would bring up Yamato, and I would bring up Shanks. I would probably drop Luffy into S tier. As for everyone else, Roger Newgate could probably be brought up as well. Kaido's good. As for everyone else, everything else seems pretty spot on. I'd love to sort of test this out, but I didn't get a chance to. But yeah, you basically have like this Luffy's definitely number one. These two Luffy would be make an argument for me for second. Kaido's definitely fallen off. I'd give him third. And then I'd probably Kizaru's probably arguing for OP too. And then I'd probably give it to these two as well as my top 5 characters. And then Luffy would definitely fall out. So if we keep going here, what else is here? The universal rule set. Is this the season? Yeah, so he's even got the season rules, which is crazy. He's got recommended grand party teams as well. This man puts in a lot of work, man. Please, like, go buy him a coffee. Like, please, someone go buy this man a coffee. Even, like, the pictures he uses are just so phenomenal. Really, really cool stuff. Really, really nice. So if you guys want some help with building out your teams and stuff like that, make sure to go check it out. Because, like I said, he definitely does fantastic work. And like I said, I've been meaning to get to this resource for a very, very long time. I haven't had the time, if I'm being like completely honest with you guys. But that's going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later!